Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Divorce Lawyers podcast. I'm Deepa Taylor. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects many couples across Ontario: the legal nuances of common law relationships. Common law relationships, while increasingly common, often lead to misconceptions about legal rights and obligations. Unlike marriage, where laws are more clearly defined, common law relationships fall into a gray area that can lead to complex legal challenges if the relationship ends. So, whether you're currently in a common law relationship, considering entering one, or simply curious, this episode is packed with essential information. But before we begin, I want to remind our listeners that the information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. For advice tailored to your specific circumstances, I encourage you to consult with a legal professional. Let's start by defining what a common law relationship is in Ontario. In simple terms, a common law relationship is one where two people live together in a conjugal relationship for a certain period but are not legally married. In Ontario, the magic number is usually 3 years of continuous cohabitation or having a child together while in a relationship of some permanence. Now, it's important to note that just living together for a certain amount of time doesn't automatically grant the same legal rights and protections as marriage does. This is a common misconception, and it can lead to significant issues, especially when the relationship ends. Let's break down some of the key legal aspects you should be aware of. One of the most misunderstood areas of common law relationships is property rights. Unlike married couples, common law partners do not have automatic rights to property division under the Ontario Family Law Act. This means that if you separate, each partner is entitled only to what they own individually, unless you have a joint agreement or can prove a contribution to the acquisition, maintenance, or improvement of property owned by the other partner. Let's consider an example. Imagine you and your partner live together in a home that's in your partner's name. Over the years, you've contributed to the mortgage payments, done significant renovations, or perhaps even paid for utilities and groceries. Upon separation, you might expect to have a claim to the property. However, in the absence of a cohabitation agreement or specific legal steps, you might face challenges proving your entitlement to any share of that home. This is why creating a cohabitation agreement early in the relationship is so crucial. This document can outline how assets will be divided if the relationship ends, providing clarity and protection for both parties. Another key issue is spousal support. Many people assume that spousal support is only an issue in marriages, but this isn't the case. In Ontario, common law partners may be entitled to spousal support if they have lived together for at least 3 years, or if they have a child together and are in a relationship of some permanence. Spousal support can be a complex and contentious issue, particularly in common law relationships, because there's often less clarity about the financial arrangements between partners. Courts consider various factors such as the length of the relationship, the roles each partner played during the relationship, and the financial dependency of one partner on the other. If you're in a common law relationship and are concerned about spousal support, again, a cohabitation agreement can be an invaluable tool. It can set out expectations and obligations regarding spousal support, potentially saving both parties a lot of stress and legal fees in the future. When it comes to children, the law is more straightforward. In Ontario, the rights and responsibilities regarding child custody and support apply equally to common law and married parents. The best interests of the child are always the primary consideration. However, complications can arise when common law partners separate, particularly if one partner has been more involved in the child's day-to-day care. In such cases, the non-custodial partner might feel that they have less legal standing to seek custody or visitation rights, which is not true. Both parents have the right to seek custody or access to their child, and both are equally responsible for providing child support. If you're in a common law relationship and have children, it's important to remember that child support obligations can continue until the child turns 18, or longer if the child remains dependent due to education or disability. By now, you might be sensing a recurring theme: the importance of legal agreements. Whether it's a cohabitation agreement, a parenting plan, or a spousal support arrangement, Having these documents in place can save you from future legal battles. A cohabitation agreement is particularly useful because it allows you to clearly define how property and finances will be handled if the relationship ends. It can also address issues such as spousal support, living arrangements, and even how household expenses will be shared during the relationship. This kind of proactive planning might seem unromantic, but it's a practical way to ensure that both partners' rights and expectations are respected. Finally, let's discuss what happens if you don't have these agreements in place and you find yourself facing legal disputes after a common law relationship ends. While it's preferable to settle matters amicably, this isn't always possible. If disputes arise, you may need to go to court to resolve issues like property division, spousal support, or child custody. The court will examine the specifics of your relationship, your contributions, and your needs. However, this process can be lengthy, expensive, and emotionally taxing. This is why legal advice is crucial, not just when things go wrong, but even when the relationship is going well. For personalized guidance, please consult one of our family lawyers by visiting DivorceLawyers.ca. Our lawyers can help you understand your rights and obligations, draft necessary agreements, and guide you through the process of protecting your interests. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Common law relationships carry their own set of legal complexities, which can have significant implications if the relationship ends. By understanding your rights, taking proactive steps to protect yourself, and seeking legal advice when necessary, you can navigate these complexities with greater confidence and security. Thank you for joining me today on the Divorce Lawyers podcast. I hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights into the legal nuances of common law relationships. If you have any questions or need legal assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at DivorceLawyers.ca. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode, and if you found today's discussion helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit from it. Until next time, take care.